Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Today, we're going to look at some resources for accent reduction. Now, it's something which I speak about a lot in my English lessons because I think it's very important to be talking with a very clear communication, especially if you want to sound more native. Now, I know that many of you are probably wandering around YouTube putting in the word accent reduction, and probably on italki as well, you're looking for teachers who focus on accent reduction. Well, first of all, what I can tell you is that many teachers around don't really focus on this because they don't really know how to. When you speak a second language, you really need to be learning how to speak it as well as the grammar, but it's a little bit of an art. Firstly, one way you can do it is by shadowing, and that's where you listen to a native speaker and you simply imitate them, you copy them. That's one of the best ways to get the accent you want. Find a voice you trust and simply copy it. At first, it sounds ridiculous. Then slowly, it begins to sound authentic. And then once you receive some affirmation from a teacher, from other speakers, you realize that you're doing well. Incredibly superficial, but that's the best way to do it. One other way, though, which is kind of related, is to start studying elocution. Now, I know many of you are wandering around YouTube and other places, and what you're doing is you're putting in the words accent reduction just to try to get some help with this. But I can guarantee you that the next time you're on YouTube, if you put in the words elocution, you'll get many more results directly related to what you want. Now, let me just explain a little bit more about that, okay? So, when a British man needs to speak better because he's an actor, airline pilot, communication specialist, he will try to find an elocutionist. He won't look for an English teacher because he already speaks English. He wants a voice specialist. And that is where you will find them, in the realm of elocution. So this is a very good word for you to remember. It's not all about searching for a way to reduce your accent. It's actually a way to change how you use your mouth muscles to get that accent you want. So elocutionists, they deal with pronunciation, articulation, volume and pace, intonation and stress, breath control, expression and emotion. Okay, so that's the word you want. It's not simply accent reduction or voice coaching. Elocution will bring up the desired results of exactly what you're looking for. Also, the good thing about elocutionists is they're not necessarily related to language teachers. It's, you could say, the cousins of language teachers, but they're not usually teachers in the way that the rest of us are. They specialize very specifically in your voice or on your voice, okay? So I want you to do a web search on that because they will have lots more resources than a teacher has. Now, I've been studying elocution for many, many years because I've always had a great interest in radio, the voice, communication, and how all of these things work. So it's really important that you do the same. You find it very interesting. Also, elocutionists have no interest in your journey as an English learner. They treat everyone the same. You have to have a kind of a good understanding of English to approach them. They're not there to help you with your vowels and your grammar. They are there simply to help you to speak better. That's their role. And they have loads of YouTube clips. So I want you to do a little search for them. You can find people who do both. I mean, I use elocution a lot in my lessons, as well as teaching English. So they're two very distinct things. But searching for elocution, I think, would be your next step if you really are looking to jump into the realm of speaking better. Just a warning though, if you feel that you're insecure with your English, it's better to come to a teacher who can teach elocution and English. And there's a few of those around, teachers like myself. Elocutionists probably would be a bit annoyed if you keep asking them grammar questions. That's not their purpose. Definitely, though, searching for them in YouTube is my advice to you today. The one thing that they're particularly good at is dealing with expression and emotion, because they'll show you how to use your voice to convey emotions and expressions appropriately, making speech more engaging and impactful. The other thing as well, of course, is historically elocutionists tend to be a little bit more expensive because professional people here use them. They're not really designed for language learners in the first place. But yeah, you can have a look and try and find them. I don't think it's something very common now, but they are still there. I did a quick search on YouTube before I started recording this, and I found loads of them. And they really are the specialists in dealing with the voice. Let's just go over a few things which elocutionists and teachers as well, if you find a good one, can show you. Okay, so the first one is pronunciation. This involves the correct formation of vowel and consonant sounds. Pronunciation is fundamental in elocution as it impacts the clarity of speech. I think it's important to point out here as well that if you have any kind of accident or disease which attacks your vocal cords or anything related to your way of speaking, the doctor or the hospital will also ask the dietitian to have a look at you, because they also specialize in the way that you speak from a medical perspective. It's a little bit strange, but it's part of their training to see if you're able to speak well and what you need to do to change that. Dietitians often measure the power of your voice in order to give doctors feedback about damage or any permanent damage of your vocal cords. Articulation. This refers to the clarity with which words are formed. Good articulation ensures that each syllable is pronounced clearly and that words are not slurred together. Volume and pace. Elocution teaches control over the volume and speed of speech. Speaking too softly or too quickly can hinder comprehension, while speaking too loudly or too slowly can be distracting. Intonation and stress. The variation in pitch and emphasis on certain words can change the meaning of a sentence. Elocution helps in mastering these nuances to convey the intended message more effectively. Breath control. Good breath control is essential for maintaining steady speech and for managing longer phrases or sentences. Expression and emotion. Elocution also involves using the voice to convey emotions and expressions appropriately. So it's basically all the things that you hear me talking about in my class lessons if you've asked for help with accent reduction. But just keep in mind, though, as I mentioned earlier, elocutionists are not teachers. So stuff like grammar, looking for corrections, looking for essays to be corrected, they won't help you with that. They can't. Okay, they're only there to help you speak better. So wait until your English is perfect, or at least some intermediate level, before you begin interacting with them. Okay? Or come to me or another teacher that specializes in accent reduction as well as corrections, grammar, exams, and these kind of things. All right. So, yeah, good advice there today. Good advice, elocutionists. And that's it for me. So, I hope you've enjoyed this. Have a wonderful day. See you. Bye.